You mentioned rolling papers. So you got your own
Yeah.
rolling papers. I know we got it
Oh
on the
yeah, right
background.
here. Let me show you. So Mr. Stinky's all natural rolling papers. Our products are no longer made out of hemp. They just changed the law where we can't do no hemp rolling papers. So my papers is all natural. You know what I'm saying? You want to roll your treat and be liberated. You know, something clever that I did take from the Nipsey Hustle thing though. Um, if you look here on my rolling papers, you see that QR code? You scan that QR code, it's gonna take you right to my YouTube channel. So you can subscribe. It's free to subscribe. It's not a paid subscription. Subscribe to the channel. You'll know about all the new music I'm doing.
Yep. And if you're watching this pod, we'll actually put the link for Mr. Stinky's roller papers in the description. And if he's so gracious to give us a promo code, we will also put the promo code in the description as well for watching
I
the
can
pod.
definitely do that. I just did a 4 days ago. I just did a branding deal with Amazon. Shout out to Amazon. I'm finally on Amazon. These roller papers right here, Mr. Stinky, all natural. They did a branding deal. So what I did, I trademarked the name Mr. Stinky. I federally trademark. I own this name now. Like when Cardi B did before she came out, I federally trademarked the name Mr. Stinky. That's the name of my brand. It's all good. You know,
So
if you want to go to my website directly and buy some merchandise and stuff like that, support the cause, support black owned business, www.mrstinky.store. Again, that's www.mrstinky.store.
now you and I know those are king size papers that you
Those are
have.
king size. We like to do it big. But I realized that a lot of classic smokers, they like the singles. So the new single brown paper's on the way because they won't let me do hemp no more. That's It's a big war going on with the hemp thing industry. I don't want to get into it, but
No,
we're gonna keep it.
we can get into that though. So
Oh, okay. Okay, we'll get into it a little bit. So, because I gotta be careful with that. I got marijuana ties too
well, I
on
know
the prescription side.
The THCA thing is going nuts with that,
Right.
right?
Yeah, so the TACA thing is shutting down. It's about to be over. But shout out to Trump and the other man, I can't think of his name, I believe out of Texas, who signed that federal law to make the TACA legal. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to get my hands into that, but that's still considered on the hemp side, like the HHC and the CBD and all that. And so there's a in these recreational states, there's a war with the with the hemp and the cannabis, or hemp and the marijuana. So it's like a lot of they about to shut it down. So whoever capitalized, good luck. I hope you capitalize before they. It's over now. They about to fix everything right. It's political, man. It's hard to explain, but
If you didn't know, and I'll help kind of explain it. Basically, there's cannabis and there's hemp, right? Or there's THC, and hemp is the plant that produces the bud that is the weed that you smoke. But if the plant just never produces that bud, then it's hemp. And you can make things out of the hemp. You can make rope and beauty products and CBD and all these other things. But they decided, there were some smart guys, a lot, and they said, well, certain hemp plants don't produce THC; they produce THCA, which a lot of people, including cookies, made business online where they were basically selling weed legally. And if you look at the weed you buy from the dispensary, it's mostly THCA, right?
here's the spooky part. The spooky part of THCA, as you run it in a test, it comes back as hemp or whatever THCA. But if it reach a level of 88 or 80 degrees or more for over a certain amount of time, a few hours, let's say you bought 10 pounds from a company and you ride with it in your trunk. By the time you get to where you're going, you deliver that shit, you got THC when the cops pull you over. That's the dangerous part too. See what I'm saying? So, but back to the hemp thing, cars used to run off of hemp way back. They used to make cars out of hemp fiber, all kind of hemp is really the god plant. See, that's why they don't want nothing organic, and that's what really heals the body. So they don't want that. They don't want that.
Yeah,
The
100%.
higher ups.
You know, and I know what you mean by that because THC is one of the best uh eliminators of inflammation. That's what edibles are
Exactly.
huge. Yeah, no, huge.
And then they got issues with the pharmaceutical people too. So it's all these different wars. They got the hemp THC war, pharmaceutical war. I try to stay out of the political side because I got my hands in so many doors, and I just want to thank the Most High.
Well,
I don't want to make nobody mad. I don't watch
well,
everything
well,
I see.
man, I was a kid listening to armed criminal actions, smoking weed, and with my head on swivel. And nowadays, that's just not what it. That's not what it is. You got the cones. Hey, I was asking about the cones. Yeah, the cones. There we go with the cones. So we got to get some of those merches sent over to the Eating Elephant's office. We got to get the
Yeah, yeah.
cones now. Not saying that I would use them.
www.mrstinky.store, man. We got the all natural cones. Let me tell you about them. 1 1/4, 108 cones in each box. Each box, so there's 18 packs inside of one box. And then look, so in each pack, it has 6 of them in there. All natural. And these are the last of the hemp. You better get the last of the hemp while you can. We it don't matter, but they all good.
But
We
you're
gonna
a
get the
little
best.
ahead of the hemp. You're ahead of the
Huh?
hemp curve. A lot of people don't realize that that's gonna come. A lot of people not gonna have their medicine when the hemp. Because I live in Kansas, right?
Yeah.
Which Missouri is a legalized state, but things like, are you familiar with Delta 8 and Delta
Oh
9 and
yeah,
all
Delta
that?
9, Delta 10, yeah.
So all the
Yeah.
deltas, all that's going away with the hemp, right?
Exactly. Because places like Atlanta, Georgia, and Texas, where they not medicinal or recreational, it's certain people making millions, paying millions of dollars on taxes from this weed. The government don't like that. They don't like
No, 100%.
that.
I think that's a crazy thing, and I've watched videos of people pulled over and they're like, "That's THCA. That's not no, this is
Yeah.
hemp. This is." I've heard them try to make that argument, man, and I think that's the good thing about Kansas City because you know, it's legal now. Kansas City, Missouri, you can have
Yeah.
weed and you can
And
talk about it.
another thing about the cones, I want to say the roller papers. I'm in 6 dispensaries back home in Kansas City. The number, I guess, I ain't been back home, so I don't want to say the number one. I don't want to call nobody the number one dispensary, but I guess one of the main dispensaries in Kansas City that has 6 locations is called From the Earth. Uh, I'm in all the stores. The McGee, the 103rd, uh, Southwest Boulevard, Independence, and Raytown. If I left out one, hey, I'm in there. But it's what's so crazy. Yesterday they took me off the menu because of my profile says hemp, even though I've already switched the product over to all natural. So it said hemp on there. So I just took, you know what I'm saying. So I noticed yesterday I wasn't on the website no more. They had me on the menu. But that's because they was on the news too about the hemp thing. So they probably just fixing all that. But I already fixed the issue. So but the products in the stores. So go to all the From the Earth, go to Amazon, or buy directly from the store. But y'all gotta support black owned business because we are the smoke. We the culture of smoking. Black people. Period. We the origins of everything.
Hell yeah. I mean, not to get off of joints, but who taught you how to roll a blunt? Who's the first person you see roll a blunt?
You want to? You want to? I tell you something so crazy to mess your mind up. My contributor to marijuana, the plant itself, is so big. I never learned how to roll a blunt. I used to have people sit down, 3 or 4 people, and just roll blunts for me all day and pay them. So I just never learned how to roll a blunt. Now, I got my own blunt wraps on the way. We working on it right now. Like tonight, I'll be sitting in my office all night working on the designs for my blunt wraps. But now I got to change all the paper I just ordered because I'm not doing hemp wraps now. So I got to figure out do I want to go with a tea tree leaf or bamboo. I got to figure, you know what I mean? They done messed up my whole stuff because I don't have to license to sell tobacco. So I may get into that next year. Alcohol, tobacco. But that comes with you got to be on super on point with that. So,
Yeah, what about the Mr Stinky frontal leaf, right? Just to give him a whole grabba.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
The grabba, right? Give him the
right,
grabba.
right, but grab a leaf, but I can't, not yet, not yet. So
100%. And I know with laws changing, that definitely always, makes you have to be ever vigilant about how those laws are changing. So besides of course being because I would imagine selling rolling papers really puts you, as you mentioned, because you sound very knowledgeable about marijuana and kind of the laws and the direction that it's going.
Yeah, I know more than I be saying because I try not to give up the game. I be in some political meetings, man. It really almost don't even be about marijuana. It be about power and shit. It's kind of
Well, marijuana is
irritating.
it's a high, high revenue force for most places that have it. But I don't know if you've seen like places like Detroit, Michigan, where the mission didn't go as well as it went other places, and they're actually having to close dispensaries because the
Yeah, they
investment
close a
hasn't
lot of
been.
them down here. They so strict with everything you do. You know,
And, and
they
that,
so strict.
and that's exactly what they said. So, besides rolling papers, anything else on the horizon for Mr. Stinky?